The cheapest I've seen that watch trade for is around 30,000. He's been to his 18 and have stuck it right up.
I wouldn't like to pay more than 16,000 for that watch.
Wow.
And I think I'd still be in trouble if I did.
That's a watch which you're going to lose money on.
A gentleman's watch, like a dad watch.
A dad watch.
What's complex about the movement, John?
You tell me, Stu. I was offered one last week and I told him to give it a miss.
Well, I think you made a mistake with that.
Alright guys, this is part 3 where I'm here with the buyers from Watchtrader Co and I'm asking them which Rolex models you should buy if you want to flip them for a profit and which ones you should avoid because you're going to lose money if you sell them on the second-hand market. Let's get into it. Alright then, the Yacht-Master II. You can get the steel and rose, or full yellow gold. All of them are on oyster bracelets. Are any of them a buy if you're looking to make a profit on them brand new?
I think the price point on them is very high on all three. I think maybe 2 years ago there were £2,000 or £3,000 less to buy from Rolex. Mm-hmm. They have got a very complex movement in them. They're quite a big watch, and in reality any of the steel or bimetal we've bought in the last 3 months they've sold.
Yeah. And
they've sold quite quickly. We've probably bought them for quite a bit under the list price. I mean, if you take the...
What's complex about the movement, John?
You tell me, Stu. that and the Sky-Dweller are the two of the more complex movements.
It's got a time, date, it hasn't got a date, it's got a chronograph. That's it.
There's a lot more than that, Stu. You'll have to ask Kendo.
Can you explain?
I'll speak to the expert.
Okay.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, so if you look at the bimetal rose gold one, if you compare that to a root beer, it's like £7,000 more.
Yeah.
The price point is quite high, but it is a very nice looking watch.
On the steel, you're looking at 15,700.
Yeah, so it hasn't changed for a lot of years, apart from the hands. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a brand new watch is 15,700, and we would sell it for probably around 17,000, and we would buy it for a touch under RRP. So that's a watch which you're going to lose money on if you're selling to people like us. So the watch we would buy the steel model for say 14,500.
Yeah.
I recently sold a brand new one, I think a week or so ago, for 16,500.
Right.
I think with the bimetal one, it would be difficult to sell it for a lot more than the list price. I think 21,350 is quite high.
The thing is with the bimetal, to be honest, is there's not so many in the market as well, so it has pushed the price up. You know, it stabilised the price. It's not so much which has dropped so much as other models. We would have to sell a brand new model for around 22, 23 in my opinion, and we'll probably purchase it for around a touch under list.
Yeah.
But it's not a watch that you get offered very often, John, no?
No, I think I get offered them for people that have been offered them from the AD, mm-hmm. and I tell them no. Yeah. Like, they're not going to get their money back.
It's a watch that we'd like to buy and sell pre-owned all day, every day.
Yeah.
For all of the range. The yellow gold was one of the most popular full gold models out there at one point. So all of these models on a pre-owned basis is definitely one which we'll buy and sell and trade every day. But if you're talking brand new, fresh out the AD, it's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah.
The list price on the steel and gold is quite high, as John mentioned. So that means we need to sell it also similar or just slightly above list price. And the yellow gold version now, I'm not even sure what the list price is on that.
It's 34,600, I'd guess. It's very high. Mm-hmm. It was closer to 30,000 probably 2 years ago.
The new hands came out in 2017. So it's the same watch from 17 till 23.
Yeah. So
if you're looking to buy the full gold, if you went pre-owned, you could probably pick one up for 30, 31, yeah. 32, going down the 17, 18 route. If you want to buy a brand new 2023, you're probably looking at around 36 to 38. So there's a big spread on pre-owned to brand new.
Just for the people that don't know as well, the old hands, it was a straight hour hand, and the new hand is the Mercedes hour
Yeah,
hand.
you can probably put them up on the screen there. So obviously the new hands came out in, I believe, 2017. So it's a big spread between 6,000 and 8,000 for new to fresh dated.
Yeah.
What I would say about this watch as well is if you get a 17, sometimes you'll get it in the same condition as this where they're brand new, but because it's a big watch and because it's yellow gold, it tends, especially if it's worn every day, it wears a lot. So I think that's what's important, getting one
In the right
getting
condition.
good value, but getting one in the right condition, getting one that's fresh, where the links are still sharp, because they seem to wear down because they're a full yellow gold piece and they sit big on your wrist.
The steel and gold, if you went pre-owned, you could probably pick one up with the new hands for around 17k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're making a big saving. If you want the watch, you're making a massive saving then.
Definitely. If you've been offered any of these 3 models from your AD, they're all underlist models.
I still think that's one of my favourite yellow gold watches. I just think it's really nice. Pop that on there.
That's because I used to sell cars.
We're going to take a look at the 1908. These haven't hit the market yet, so there isn't really any data to work with in terms of how much they're buying or selling for. With a list price on the yellow gold of 18,500, do you think that they're going to be an overlist watch or an underlist watch?
So then they come out in 2 dials, white and black.
I think they'll be similar to a Cellini, where you won't see a lot of them, you won't sell a lot of them, but you will get the odd inquiry for them. I think they're like a gentleman's watch, like a dad watch.
A dad watch.
But they are smart. If you were going to a wedding or something like that, if you had a nice suit on, I think.
Well, if you're looking for a dress watch from Rolex, this is pretty much the only thoroughbred dress watch. It has an open case back now, which is something new.
There's definitely going to be demand for the first ones that hit the market at 18,500. I would suggest that they're probably going to go for slightly above RRP. Just to begin with, then they'll settle down. It's going to be, like you say, it's a lovely looking dress watch. It has the open case back, which is a nice novelty. It only has 2 dial options, black or white. So yeah, I'm suggesting it's probably going to trade for around 20k or low 20s in the yellow.
Automatic, or is it a daily wind?
No, it's automatic. Yeah, it's automatic. So the white gold is 19,600. So it's even more expensive than the yellow. I would say if you're going to get one of them, I mean,
I suggest they're probably going to bring out a rose.
do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think the rose would be quite nice, and have the yellow, the rose, and the white. Give everybody the options of each precious metal except for the platinum. And I think the white gold, slightly more list price. I think it'll probably just go for a little bit more than the RRP, low 20s.
Yeah.
I think with Cellinis, they used to sell for between 15 and 20,000 depending on the age and condition. I think that these look slightly smaller than a Cellini. I've never seen one.
From memory, are these more expensive retail price than a Cellini was?
Yes, but probably just with the price increases that
Okay.
Rolex have recently had. But I think that if you were going to spend 20,000 on a dress watch, I think you could pick up a pre-owned Patek Philippe Calatrava for low 20s, and I think that would be my choice rather than one of these.
Okay, so to summarise, when they're first released and there's only a few on the market, maybe they'll be
Yeah, the
trading over.
the novelty factor when they first come out, which is probably going to be in a couple of months' time, or even sooner. Then I predict the watch is going to sell for slightly above RRP.
Okay.
Maybe 10% above.
Okay, so it's one to buy if you want it for yourself, but probably not if you want to flip it, as they say.
For the minute.
Okay, maybe they need to get a few more people, because I think Federer's the only person who's been spotted wearing one.
Really?
As of yet. They maybe need to get it on Michael
Well,
Bublé's list.
I haven't seen one being offered. We haven't been offered one for sale. I haven't seen any in the market as of yet.
Yeah.
But I presume they're going to probably come out in the very near future.
I think all it'll take is for a few influential people to wear them, and
They'll be hot property.
yeah, exactly.
And especially if there's not many around, that's the thing. If there's not many available, it's going to push the price up, supply and demand, obviously.
Well, that's it. I think there'll be a certain group of people who are, everybody's wearing Rolex Sports, Rolex Steel. Maybe some people will go the other way and want to be different and wear one of these.
Definitely.
I
would wear one.
I think they can be a ladies' watch as well.
Yeah, 39 mil, it's a very good size.
But they're smart. They're classic.
So for the ladies out there, or maybe the gents who are thinking about treating their missus to a watch, the Lady-Datejust, it comes in the 28mm size.
Well, did you not see Neymar recently rocked the 28mm yellow gold iced out?
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously he's been to his AD and have stuck it right up.
You never know, he might set a trend.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he also had on the
A skirt.
No, I also seen him wearing the Day-Date on leather as well, the new one with the fancy dial. So for whatever reason, he must have asked for it.
Well, it's working because you're talking about it.
Yeah, maybe definitely must. Well, of course. So I don't know how it's worked. Maybe they've given him a rainbow Daytona and look, mate, you're gonna have to buy one of these. It's for your missus. He must be single. I'm not too sure, but he's ended up wearing it himself.
Stu will have one on by weekend.
Okay, so we'll pair it right back to a steel, like the most basic model you can get, which is on an Oyster with a domed bezel and a silver dial. That comes in at 5,850. Would you buy that watch, or?
We will buy it, but it's going to be under the list. I'm saying 4.5.
Yeah, probably 4 to buy, 4.5 on consignment. I think that the list price is astronomical for that watch. I think it was at least less than £5,000, probably 18 months ago.
But you know what it is? There's quite big margins for us as dealers buying and selling these watches, more so pre-owned. The reason being is there's not very many in the market, to be honest.
Get a hold of.
So yeah, they are. So the 28mm in the steel with the dome bezel, what you're talking about there, we would probably sell it for slightly above list.
Yeah, I think though with the price point, if you look at like an OP41, I know that doesn't have a date function, but it's £400 cheaper than that watch. So it just doesn't add up. But I think ladies are different, where generally if they come into a shop like ours, they don't know exactly what they want. I think a man tends to do more research. I don't want to get into trouble for saying this, but I just think that ladies will come in and they'll choose between a few and they'll do that there and then.
But I think that's an interesting point, because I think what you're saying there, they're maybe less influenced by, like, you know, you hear a word like a Pepsi or a this or that. Yeah. It's more like the status or something of wearing that particular model, whereas maybe there's more ladies who are just looking at the aesthetics of the watch and just looking at the watch for what it is. You know, because I think a lot of people get caught up in the trend, like, oh no, I want to be wearing a Batman because it's a Batman.
Definitely.
You know.
No, I agree.
So this watch that you pulled out here, Harry, I think the 28mm came out in 2017. So you could probably pick up a pre-owned version of the same watch for around 4,000 to 5,000. Yeah. Or if you're going to go and buy a brand new one from a grey market dealer like ourselves, it's probably going to cost you as much as 7,000. Okay. So once again, there's a big spread.
Yeah.
But if you're buying it from your AD, it's something which you're going to lose probably around 1,500 quid on.
Because this is the thing, there's so many different bracelet, dial, and bezel combinations. I've just picked out a cross section here. But onto the steel and gold models, I think this is probably one of the most iconic ladies' Rolexes, the steel and yellow gold with the champagne face. That comes in is it around 8,500?
Yeah. 8,850.
Okay, 8,850. Is that something that, you know, if you wanted to sell it, are you going to lose money on it, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, if you're buying that direct from the AD, we would probably look to buy that for around £1,500 to £2,000 under RRP.
Probably 1,000 less on consignment. I think sometimes, depending on how good the relationship we have with our client is, I'll try to return them as close to list as possible. But I think that would be a lot easier with, for example, the rose gold bimetal model with the chocolate dial to the yellow gold with the champagne dial.
Across the range, the most popular dials is going to be the champagne diamond, the MOP dial, the pinks. They're the ones that sell better, the more in demand. You know, you've got a dead silver dial there, Harry. That's something which is not going to be so desirable.
So you go into your AD and you say, look, I really, really want a rainbow Daytona. And they say, okay, sir, but you're going to have to buy a white gold presidential bracelet, silver face with the diamond bezel.
Probably make you buy at least 5 of those.
Okay, you're going to have to buy 5 of these, and they cost £33,100 each.
Yeah. Well, that one that you've that you've actually pulled out is a complete dog, Harry. So it's got a silver baton dial. You know, it's very, very undesirable, something like that.
I wouldn't like to pay more than 16,000 for that watch.
Wow.
And I think I'd still be in trouble if I did.
Yeah.
But if it had an original MOP dial in it, it makes a lot of difference. That dial's just
definitely
garbage. We're probably not going to see so many of them because obviously Rolex know as well.
Like less people
They're just not going to make that dial. They're going to make a lot more of them watches with the more popular dials because they're the ones that sell.
So these watches, the full gold 28mm Lady-Datejusts, I got pictures of them, screenshots off the Rolex website, so they've obviously been offered them from the AD, and they're asking me whether they should buy them or not, and it's a most definite no.
So you think these watches get bundled with
Well,
some of the more in-demand watches?
I think the staff in the AD just sit ringing people all day long, offering them these watches, and the off chance that somebody might take them, somebody might think everything's still worth buying, but I get sent screenshots from the Rolex website all day, every day.
So you've got the classic one here, so 28mm, yellow gold, white Roman dial, which list price is 22,800. You could probably pick up a very good condition pre-owned watch for around 15,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you're buying it for, the market price.
Yeah. So
okay.
So we would probably buy between 12 and 15. That's free for an older watch.
Yeah, you're using the biggest, most extreme example there because it's an older watch.
Yeah.
That watch there with a champagne or a diamond dial is very popular. They're very sought after. It's just the price point from Rolex, like that is 25,000.
Then you can go with the older model.
Astronomical,
you can go with the older model in the 26mm. With this watch in a 26mm with or without diamonds, you can get it from between 7 and 10,000.
Yeah.
For an older one. I think if we were selling those older between sort of 14 and 18,000, I think they would sell as well. I just think the price is too expensive now.
Okay, so brand new 2023 plate. Lady-Datejusts are a no if you're trying to
unless
make money
it's
on them
for a special occasion or somebody specifically likes
and what
the
it
watch.
is, and definitely, and 9 times out of 10, when these watches are bought for gifts or the ladies buying them themselves, but more so as a gift, to be honest, the person who's receiving the watch, they don't sell it, so the price doesn't really come into it as much as what it does with the gents watches. Like for example, you have this one, so you've got the ladies Datejust, but with the steel with the Jubilee bracelet in the RBR bezel, so the diamond bezel and the diamond dial. That watch there, if we were going to try and source it for someone, it's going to be quite difficult. So the list price on it is 14k. We would probably sell that watch for over RRP, but if we got offered it, because we don't get so many inquiries for people looking to buy that watch, we'll probably pay a couple of grand under list price for that watch. So when we do get a client who's looking for the watch, you know, we are going to make a decent margin on it because we'll probably have to hold it for a little bit. But there's hardly any in the market.
Any watches like that we've had over the last 12 months, or even in 31mm, they sell eventually. Like Stu said, they might take 6 months, they might take 8 months, but they always do eventually.
Yeah, we don't get anybody walking past wanting to buy this RBR Ladies Datejust. We get people walking past wanting to buy Pepsis, Hulks, Batmans. But obviously we're an e-commerce business as well, so that watch is available for sale anywhere in the world. And there's very few of these watches and combinations available in the market. So we do find the customers for them.
Finally onto the Sky-Dweller. Now again, these come in steel and gold, precious metal and precious metal with oyster flex. So starting off with the steel.
First of all, very complex movement, like the Yacht-Master II. The steel, I think that the blue is desirable and the black and white probably aren't so much at the moment.
What about the green, the new green?
I think the green will be a fantastic watch, and I think that'll be probably 30,000 when it comes out, more.
So we're talking about the 3.3 references. So what I've seen in the market, Rolex has probably been quite cute on this. The ones which are the novelty ones, so the steel with the green, the rose with the blue, the white gold oyster flex, the new ones, the new novelty dials or combinations. They're the ones that have seemed to hit the market first. So it looks to me that they've released those ones first, over than the ones which they've just changed the reference. where they already have the same dial combination and colour.
I should have prefaced this with, yes, there's been a new reference and there's a new movement in the Sky-Dwellers.
Yeah.
However, we we're using the data of the previous reference, but we're talking about the new ones.
Yeah, and some of the new ones. The only 3 references which I've seen hit the market are the demand pieces.
Yeah.
The ones that I've just mentioned. So we can start with the green.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most hottest. So the green on Jubilee, the steel on Jubilee, or an Oyster, which is the same retail, which is 13,150, 13,300, depending on which bracelet. As it stands at the minute, the cheapest I've seen that watch trade for is around 30,000. So a massive premium above RRP.
If you think though, the blue dial 18 months ago was 25,000 plus. So it's obviously, I think as more come out, the price will drop.
Yeah. So it'll be a similar story maybe to the bimetal GMT, where first one's out the gate, but then within a matter of weeks, there's going to be quite a significant.
I think they won't
correction.
fall in price as quick as the bimetal GMT did. I think the Sky-Dweller has a bit more prestige maybe than a GMT, and I just think that's yellow gold. So and it's bimetal, and they don't tend to do as well as a steel watch.
Yeah.
So I think the green Sky-Dweller on steel on either bracelet.
We've never actually had one.
Will command a premium. I've probably been offered 5 or 6, but when new things come out, you don't know whether people physically have them, or they're just speculating, or they're just dreaming, or what have you. So I think it'll be a special watch for a little while.
So Oyster or Jubilee for a Sky-Dweller?
In steel.
In steel, yeah, or in bimetal.
If you get the choice, definitely with steel, the Jubilee bracelet's probably more sought after. I think there's an awful lot going on in the Sky-Dweller, so I personally prefer it on an Oyster, but it's personal choice.
So going back to facts and figures, so on your sheet here, Harry, you've got a black steel on Oyster bracelet. The list price is 13,150. Price to buy, John?
Touch over that, probably around 14,000, maybe 1,000 more again on consignment. I think us then trying to retail that watch for sort of 16.5, 17, they're not going to sell all the time. There's not going to be a great demand for them, but they were 20 plus 12 months ago. So. And
then what about a blue? So a blue dial on Jubilee?
I think you'll get a brand new blue dial on Jubilee for sort of like 22, 23 maybe. I think you'll get the older reference for probably low 20s. I think if we were buying it on Jubilee, we'd pay around 17,000. I think on consignment, we could probably return 19,000. I think the Oyster is probably 1,000 less, so 16 and 18.
I think you're probably a little bit too much on consignment with that watch. I see that watch retailing, so we always discuss prices between ourselves. I think that watch probably in the market now is around 20,000 for the
Oyster.
Yeah, 20,500. No, for the Jubilee blue.
Right, but the other thing is I haven't sold one for a few weeks, so
that's why. Because
you will be right.
Asking too much money.
All right then, the steel and gold.
I think the price points became too high with those. I think you're going to get a better return on a steel one than a bimetal.
Yeah, so it's around £3,000 more compared to the steel.
Yeah.
So you have on there, you have probably one of the less popular combinations. You have the white dial with the Oyster bracelet, which is 16,300. If we were offered that watch, how much would we pay?
Probably 15,000, and I could maybe look to return the list price on consignment.
And would sell.
Having said that, I've tried to do that recently with a couple, and we've still got them. So it just depends. I just think the hype's not there anymore because the price point's too high.
And then if we move on to the full precious metal ones with the bracelet, not the Oyster Flex, you can get it in yellow gold or rose gold. You can't get it in white gold. Which is the best combination to go for?
The rose chocolate.
Rose chocolate.
Yeah.
If you can't get the rose blue.
That's true, yeah.
But I think all of them, apart from the rose blue, the price point's too high.
Yeah, so these are both are under RRP, apart from the rose blue, which we haven't had in stock yet.
Okay.
So we have a 2023 watch here, which is 44,000, 2023 with the rhodium dial. The chocolate tends to get slightly above the rhodium.
Yeah.
In the market. But yeah, if you're looking to buy either the yellow or the rose, if you're a savvy shopper, you're going to go with the slightly older watch, pre-owned,
okay,
over a brand new.
And if you get offered a full gold one with the champagne dial, should you reject that from your authorised dealer?
I think any of the full gold Sky-Dweller cases with either the full gold bracelet or the Oyster Flex bracelet, they're too expensive from Rolex.
So as an example, the yellow gold on Oyster Flex with the black dial, that's 34,600.
I've been on one this morning, brand new. I offered 26,000 to buy and 28,000 on consignment, and that's because it
Yeah, but was that the
3
3-3 reference or the 3-2?
It's a couple of days old, so I honestly don't know, but I can't see the new reference being a massive amount more.
Not a massive amount, but I think a little chunk above. If it's going to be a brand new one, I haven't seen any 3-3 references out in yellow gold on the Oyster Flex at the minute. So I think maybe it would sell for a touch under RRP. To go back to the market, sorry Harry. To go back to the market, we recently sold on our exclusive deals the yellow gold Oyster Flex 2021, but in perfect condition with the champagne dial. And we sold that for less than 28k.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's significantly under that's like 6 and a bit thousand underneath.
Yeah.
The RRP. There's a new one in white gold that you can get on the Oyster Flex, but you can't get it in the full bracelet.
I was offered one last week, so that must have been the new reference because they never made it on the old reference, and I told them to give it a miss.
Right.
Do you know what the list price is on that?
It's similar. It's going to be the same price as the rose gold, 35. I think I seen one of those in the window for 35,000.
Right.
Chocolate rose.
Right.
But that might have been the old stock.
Well, I think you made a mistake with that.
Well, I just think there's better things for us to buy. And when we're offered so many watches, you're probably right, but I didn't want to buy it for list and offer somebody list on consignment and have it for 3 months isn't probably the right advice.
No,
That's all I thought.
I think that watch is a hot watch.
We'll give
as
him,
it stands.
We'll give him a ring this afternoon and see if he's still got it.
Right. So what do you think those are going for?
So I would say 45 to 50k now, today, for the white gold Oyster Flex.
Right.
So quite a big premium above, just because it's a new model, it's a new combination. So yeah, I would say for me it's a definite buy.
So it's interesting because the Oyster Flex Sky-Dwellers just don't really carry the same premium as a Oyster Flex Daytona, yeah?
No, definitely
seem to be
not.
a different market.
I think that if you look at the price point between the two, the Daytonas are probably £7,000 or £8,000 less. I think if the Sky-Dwellers were a similar price, then they might have been more in demand. They might have traded for over the list price. Obviously, they'll say that they're more complex, but I just think a Daytona's iconic. And the price point for a Daytona's higher than a Sky-Dweller, even though they're £7,000 more in the shop.
So again, to summarise, the steel models are mostly a yes.
Yep.
But the steel and gold or the full gold models, there's a few dials which are worth getting.
Yeah, the steel and gold ones are, you know, if you want to get you're not going to be losing too much money. If you want to get your spend history up, or if you like the watch, perfect, buy it, wear it, enjoy it. Over time, it's going to increase in value. The Oyster Flexes is going to be a no, unless you want to buy the watch to wear. In my opinion, you're going to buy pre-owned. It's going to be better value for you, unless you're getting the white gold Oyster Flex, which we've just mentioned. Precious metal, obviously the blue dial, it'll go for a crazy amount at the minute. It'll simmer down, but you know, for the foreseeable future, it's going to go for a significantly higher amount than the RRP. The standard dials in the yellow and the rose gold, they're under RRP.
I think the blue dial with the full rose gold is going to be a very nice looking watch. I think if you compare it to the equivalent Patek or AP or Vacheron, they're very striking, nice looking watches. I think blue goes well with rose gold. So I think
blue and green with Rolex always sells well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always demand.
Both of them.
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, Stu, and thank you very much, John. We do have an exclusive WhatsApp group where we have some really great deals that go out just about daily. If you'd like to join that, you can check out the link in the description.
Comment below if you like these sort of videos, guys. Any suggestions is welcome. We're always taking feedback.
Yeah, so if you like this kind of content, let us know and we'll be sure to make more of it. And we'll see you in the next one.